Yeah, this video is about Will Sheppard and how I believe that he's not a number one receiver. I don't get into personal attacks. I just found it outrageous that people think Colorado is going to be a good football team this year, and they're not. I mean, I really think it's ludicrous. So you lost Xavier Weaver. He was a receiver that had 900 receiving yards. You're going to replace him with Will Sheppard. He only had 600 yards. But it's more telling when you look at his breakdown and the reason why he was in the portal. It was because in his last 6 games, he struggled. He averaged about 20 yards a game against good teams. He beat up the weak teams, but against the good teams, he did horribly. So he got about 20 yards a game. I'm going to prove it to you right here. I got the receipt. So his first game against Hawaii, he had 6 catches for 68 yards. He went against Alabama A&M. He had another 6 catches for 62 yards. He played Wake Forest, who's known for basketball. He had 8 catches for 87 yards. He played UNLV. He had 5 catches for 97 yards. So he's been dominant against the weak teams. He plays Kentucky, and he played a good defensive back, and they locked him down. He only had 2 catches for the 31 yards. He then played Missouri. He broke out 5 catches for 98 yards. He played Florida A&M. And he played Florida Gators. Sorry, and against Florida Gators, he had 3 catches for 107 yards. However, 1 catch was for 85 yards. It was press man coverage, and he got away from the defender, and there wasn't any help over the top. It was an 85-yard catch. After that, he was pretty much quiet, and that was his whole season. He played Georgia, the big dogs. He had 1 catch for 24 yards. Against their biggest game of the year, he goes against Georgia, and he puts up 1 catch. So when you need him the most, he comes out with 1 catch. Then they play Ole Miss the next week. He had 4 catches for 17 yards. No, those weren't rushing attempts. Those were patch catches. That's pathetic. So against Ole Miss, he came up very, very small, very short. He played Auburn. He had 4 catches for 43 yards. And then he put up a real stinker against South Carolina. He had 1 catch for 6 yards. This is your number 1 receiver? 1 catch for 6 yards? You guys are in trouble. Then he played Tennessee. He had 2 catches for 44 yards. Garbage time. I got the receipts. Will Sheppard is not a number 1 receiver. You guys been fooled. You got fool's gold. Gold chains don't win ball games. Unfortunately, Showboat don't win ball games. They don't have the coaching. They don't have the chemistry. They don't have the continuity to have a good season. And as proof, Shador even admitted this. He said that his receivers couldn't even handle the playbook. They couldn't run choice routes, which means they weren't making the reads. Neither was he. So if you guys couldn't even read, what makes you think that this year, when you got a bunch of new receivers like Jalen Wester and Will Sheppard, that they're going to come in and dominate? Just because they put up numbers for the old team doesn't mean they're going to come in this scheme, in this system, and put up numbers. If you look, Alton McCaskill had 961 yards, and he came up, and he had to redshirt because he wasn't putting up any yards because they weren't running the ball. Kavosiey Smoke had negative yards, and he was a 1,600-yard rusher. So if they don't want to run the ball, you're not going to get the yards. So what I'm telling you is Colorado is fool's gold. They were 4-8 this year. People think they're going to put up 70 points. Reality is they couldn't even put up 40 points. If you didn't even show the potential to put up 40 points, how are you going to put up 70 points in games? You haven't showed it all in 2023. You've had Travis, you had the same quarterback, and you had a better wide receiver. So now they're gonna go from the spread offense to max protection, and you're gonna put up more yards. They haven't showed the potential to put up 40 yards a game. You're not gonna put up 70. I want to see Colorado's face when North Dakota State comes and utterly destroys them with their 3-star players. They're gonna beat fire. They're gonna beat the flames out of them. Deion is not about substance. He's all flash. He's not about, all his fans, they think he can do no wrong. But the reality is, they excuse everything. When he was winning, they said he went on a world tour and his fans praised him. But when he started losing, it was Sean Lewis's fault. When Shador threw for 400-500 yards, it was he got all the credit, right? My son the quarterback, my son the quarterback. But yet, when they started losing, it's Sean Lewis's fault. Yeah, his scheme wasn't right. So then when you took the play calling duties from him, you blamed him. You blamed the offensive line, but Deion picked he handpicked the whole line. He made the hires. He hired Lewis. So if Sean Lewis was bad, that means that Deion made the hires that were bad. So it's still Deion's fault. There's nothing you could say. You could blame every assistant coach that was under Deion, but that's the same as blaming Deion. If you say Sean Lewis was bad, that means Deion was bad. So you're telling me the coach and the father couldn't get together and fix the scheme issues? Then you couldn't make any adjustments. And Shador is not a leader. By him blaming Lewis, it's pathetic. It's trying. What it is he knows their fans are gonna eat it up, and they know that they're gonna excuse that they had a sorry season. That's really what that's about. And they're gonna have another pathetic season this year. So, these Colorado fans, you guys are in delusion. August 31st, North Dakota State's gonna put the beats on them. At least Sean Lewis was gangster. At least he was throwing up the gang signs. Deion was listening to Beats headphones, listening to Destiny's Child. He wasn't coaching. You call that coaching? At least Lewis was throwing it up, man. He was about that life. Yeah, Colorado is going to have a bad season. And, their fans are delusional. The prime sexuals are straight delusional, man. And that's it. You got to August 31st. That's D-Day. After that, it's a wrap.